Coming up on News 8 at 10, a record crowd demanding sweeping changes for one city government. President Reagan still keeping Washington on its toes tonight, and a state prison inmate walks off the job.
In sports, it's tough times for the Roughnecks. Will money trouble sink their soccer ship?
Hot weather's on the way back in.
Also tonight, a water scare in Pittsburgh County, plus a closer look at a backyard boom in Oklahoma. Join us for these stories and more next on News 8.
From KTUL TV in Tulsa, Rick Hull, Rhea Blakey, meteorologist Don Woods, and John Walls on sports. This is News 8 at 10.
Good evening, everyone. Rhea Blakey has the night off. In the news, authorities are looking for a walkaway inmate tonight. Virgil Evans walked away from the Department of Transportation road crew late today. A Department of Corrections spokesman tells News 8.
As well as Mr. Reagan. Bob Petrick, News 8, Washington.
U.S. senators tonight took time out to send the president a get well card entitled Back in the Saddle Again, and the public outpouring has been tremendous. From balloons sent by comedian Joan Rivers to get well wishes from British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, also Soviet President Gorbachev, and even Nicaraguan President Daniel Ortega. Perhaps his favorite well-wisher was Nancy Reagan, who brought some of the balloons to Bethesda Naval Hospital today. Doctors there say tonight they expect the president to be home by weekend at the earliest, but the recovery time could be 6 to 8 weeks. They also describe his condition as excellent. Encouragement over the president's recovery helped push Wall Street to a record high today. The Dow Jones Industrials climbed 12 points, closing at an all-time high of 1,347 in heavy trading. Some had feared the news the president's cancer would send the market down, but it didn't happen today. Faced with a multi-million-dollar wrongful death suit, there are calls on a bit of a hypothetical question. If this whole thing were put to, say, a citywide vote in Pryor tonight, what would happen? What would be the outcome?
Well, in a theoretical situation like this, I think the majority of people in Pryor would ask for a complete investigation of the police department in general. They want the backgrounds checked on a number of the officers to see if there were past problems. And right now, I think the general consensus citywide in Pryor is that only so far the official police side of the story has been told.
Lauren Farr, thank you for that report. Still ahead on News 8 tonight, a poison water scare near McAllister, and it's calm in New Mexico this evening, but not 40 years ago. Stay with us for details.
Old buddy Tip right now. Hey, Tip, hey, whoop. There's old buddy Tip right now. We got our snacks and everything, you know, and we're having more. We get all this at Reese's, you know. Tip, you want out, don't you, son? There we go. If he doesn't want them folks, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll eat them.
A poison water scare in Pittsburgh County tonight. Residents there are being warned not to drink the water because it might be contaminated with pesticides. The health department is warning all residents, and it's taken us all the way to Geneva. These stories and more in tonight's status report. The second round of U.S.-Soviet arms talks ended in Geneva today without much progress to report. The chief Soviet negotiator blamed the stalemate on the Americans for continuing to press for space weapons defense systems. Chief American negotiator Max Kappelman said at least both sides are still talking. The third round of negotiations begins next month. The nuclear age began on this day 40 years ago as a team of scientists exploded the world's first atomic bomb at Los Alamos, New Mexico. Robert Oppenheimer headed the team known as the Manhattan Project. As he watched the blast, Oppenheimer later recalled thinking of an old Hindu passage, saying, "I have become death, the shatter of worlds." The U.S. later that summer dropped 2 such bombs on Japan to hasten the end of the Second World War. The fallout from those blasts at Nagasaki and Hiroshima is still the subject of heated debate in 1985. Today, veterans met at a rally on the Capitol steps to make pleas for financial restitution. And they have supporters. Senator Paul Simon today says the government should set up a trust fund for veterans who served near Japan. Some of those vets have children with birth defects. They say radiation from the summer of 1945 is to blame. When we come back, a closer look at buying swimming pools. Gail Pennybacher reports you should look before going off the deep end. And we're all going to see another rise on the thermometer. Don Woods with the weather up next. Stay with us. You know, when the heat is on, cooling off comes with an easy dip in the swimming pool. Building a pool is popular in Tulsa, but tonight Gail Pennywacker tells us it's an investment you may not want to dive into.
It's amazing that a gigantic hole in your backyard can become a status symbol, but this is the beginning of a swimming pool. The pool business is doing swimmingly this summer in the city of Tulsa. Every week, 10 new pools are dug. One of those new pools this week.
Good swimming weather outside.
Going to be better swimming weather tomorrow, Rick. Temperatures,
Little hot.
Yeah, temperatures going back up. Our break is over, our cool snap is over, and summer's on the way back.
Okay.
Well, let's have a look at the current data, and we'll show you that we did have some rain and some cooler weather today in Oklahoma, but it's on the way out. Right now, out at Tulsa International Airport, it's 81 degrees. Warming up even more, fair weather, sunny skies, just a slight chance of an isolated thunder shower through this period, with temperatures finally climbing into the upper 90s. And Scott McKinley at Tulsa gets tonight's Gusty, who is going to have to mow the yard tomorrow, no matter what. Well, he's going to mow slow in order not to get overheated, but nonetheless, here he is, doing what we all have to do all summer long, and that's mow the yard. There he's...
Oh, no, and Gusty just reminded me I've got to do the same thing.
Grass is about that high, Rick.
It's grown fast after the little rain we had. Thanks, Don. The next time you look at a parking meter or kick one, be aware that it was 50 years ago today that the first parking meter was invented in Oklahoma City. The father of meter mania was Carl McGee and a bunch of engineering students. They probably thought it up as a college prank. But cities took it seriously, and coin-op parking has flourished and prospered in a society gone mad with gadgets and taxes. But despite its seeming perpetual existence, let's say just one more happy birthday to the one-eyed bandit we all love to hate, the parking meter. Tonight in sports, John Walls with details on Major League All-Star Game, plus tryouts underway for the Harlem Globetrotters. They're looking for a few good women. Stay with us. Sports is next.
Possible.
Here, try this.
Ah, this is a restaurant pizza. The crust is so beautiful and so many toppings. Delicioso.
You're eating Scooter's Pizza Delivery.
What are you saying? I don't believe you. This is too good to be delivery pizza. This is a restaurant pizza.
Scooter's Pizza Delivery. It's incredibly good, unbelievably fast.
Scooter's, yes. Didn't he used to own a restaurant?
The All-Star Game's going on hot and heavy tonight. I guess our Minneapolis bureau has been
these
working
guys,
overtime.
I've really got to give them a pat on the back because we're not allowed usually to run highlights of games that are seen elsewhere until a game's over. But, you know, boy, I tell you, those guys really cracked the whip tonight. Glad to see it.
So how's it doing?
Well, we'll see. National League's up. National League owned the All-Star Game the past couple of decades. They have won 20 of the last.
Part of that from Don.
That's right. Thank you.
That was worth a Steve Garvey single in the third, Don. So keep that. It's a lucky quarter.
We'll find out how the game came out.
This quarter's yours if you tell me how you did it.
It's a secret. It's a secret. But, you know, we're sparing no expense here tonight.
Okay, thanks, John. State lawmakers have just 2 days before the end of the session Friday with a lot to accomplish. Political specialist Ken Wells will have the latest from Oklahoma City tomorrow on News 8. Also, formal arraignment expected tomorrow for a man accused of sexually molesting and killing a 17-month-old baby. We'll have a report. Plus, Bob Hauer with a waiting child. These stories and more tomorrow on News 8 at 5, 6, and 10. And swimming pool weather again tomorrow.
You bet, you bet. It's going to be sunny and 95, and hot weather is back with us. And a quarter goes to anybody out there that figures out how John Wall did that big production on the baseball.
And who can get the temperatures down. I'll add another quarter
Right,
to that.
okay, it was 2 quarters.
Finally tonight, an animal unlike any other in the wild kingdom can be seen at... That was a pretty big elephant. I don't know about that.
Very big elephant. I don't think I'd mess with him.
Thank you for joining us tonight. That is News 8 at 10, and we'll be back tomorrow at 5, 6, and 10.
Hang on to that quarter.
The guy was a Democrat.